Welcome to 0 to 60.
I'm Matt McChesney. I am the owner and operator of 6-0 Football Academy and 6-0 Equipment. Played at the University of Colorado from 2004. 6 years in the National Football League on both sides of football.
I'm Matt McChesney. This is 0 to 60. That is Coach Prime. We are at the University of Colorado. Brother, thank you so much.
All right. 0 to 60. We're rolling. And we roll. Happy Friday to everybody out here. We're going 0 to 60 here on the Believe Network. We're down here at the lab at 6-0 Football Academy. The young guys just got done putting in that work to wrap up a great week. Mount Vista High School just had their padded camp all week. We got 3 more days next week. First day in pads for the big guy, for my son, at the high school level. And there were some growing pains, but she sure did finish strong this afternoon. So, look, man, football season's right around the corner. I fucking love it. I can't wait for everybody to get started. There's nothing better than this game. I truly believe it is the best game ever created. It tells you more about yourself and forces you to think. I mean, anybody who thinks that football is just a bunch of rockheads, you ain't never played. So it's an incredible game, and just it shows you so much about yourself. And just, every walk of life, every different color, creed, religion, doesn't fucking matter. We're all in this together. It is truly the melting pot. So we have a lot to talk about here today on 0 to 60, all football related. I'm pretty sure my man Bailey's on the ones and the twos, and he'll be, throwing and lobbing these alley-oops, and I will be stuffing these motherfuckers home like Kobe to Shaq. So let's pay some bills. Our good friends at Bet Online always bring you the show, but also we're live on TikTok. Go check that out at 6-0 Academy. Yesterday, we finished with like 8,000 eyes on the live TikTok, and as many likes as you can give us, we really appreciate, and galaxies and roses and diamonds and all that shit. I don't know anything about that, but I sure do like it. And also, super chats and subs are open on Twitter and Twitch. You can go follow at 6-0 Academy on both of those. The YouTube page is blowing up. My man Bailey is a fucking genius on this shit, and he's on the ones and twos, and the vertical clips are dope, and he's really doing a great job. So the show has taken another step, and we are damn proud of it. We will have some more guests moving forward. I know people have been asking about Bree. We'll have her back on moving forward. We'll have a bunch of people on moving forward as we get into the football season, but we just wanted to get our feet on the ground here with the new with the new format moving forward here, and we sure are excited about it. So, pay some bills, Bailey, roll. Let's pay some bills right off the bat before we get going there. Bet Online is our title sponsor. They have been since day one, and they do a great job. They're the number one source for all of your betting needs this season, especially with that lull between, the end of basketball and hockey and football season where it's just baseball. You can really go in and find the best odds on baseball, golf, soccer, and your top fights in the UFC and the MMA, and, of course, boxing. Every stat, every matchup, everything you need to make an educated bet and try and win yourself some coin is right there at Bet Online. They do an unbelievable job of supporting their clientele, not just trying to bank off of them. They want you to make money. Look, you can also, when you're done, gambling on sports, if you do like to, yell a little monkey, 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 you can go play a little online 21, a little blackjack. You can go to 150 slot games, go test your luck there. Bet Online is the number one source for all of your sporting needs. And if you go use the promo code BLEAV, that's BLEAV, you will get a 50% free bet credit on your first deposit up to $250. That's a pretty good deal. Bet Online, the game starts here, and we roll and already get recruited. All right, we're rolling here. 0 to 60. We got 93 eyes in already on this Friday afternoon. That number is going to shoot up, I'm sure, as it always does. So, look, we got a lot to talk about, and I don't think is CSU even on the topic today.
Man, we're going to let Twitter deal with that over the weekend, and we will address it on Monday.
Did you see my apology?
Oh, man, I think
everybody go check out Twitter, man, and YouTube. I apologize like a total bitch.
Yeah, it was total female apology. It wasn't anything bad. It was totally normal.
I just went soft, right? Like
total soft.
Like I don't know. I'm really feeling soft in my old age. So
unbelievable. Guys, go check that out. Go become a member to the YouTube. Become a member of the Dungeon family, man. As we head into the season, we already got our first few members last night. That's just gonna keep growing here. So become a member.
Best $2.99 you'll ever spend, dog.
Best $2.99 you ever spend. All right, let's dive into some NFL training camp. We're gonna start with Matt, your Jets here. So Aaron Rodgers, we'll see you. Jets. Beautiful deep pass here to Garrett Wilson. I wanted to ask you just your thoughts so far, and I'm sure initial talks out of Jets campers good with that. I just wanted to hear your initial thoughts with the Jets.
I'm pumped. Like I have to be. I can't. Last year was when he got hurt and his Achilles popped last year. Mm-hmm. It was one of the most deflating moments in my football life. Mm-hmm. I felt like I got hurt, dog. I was so excited about Aaron Rodgers being on my fucking squad, right? Like, I love me some Jets, bro. It's like I'm cursed because I got to play for the Jets. But, like, I love them, but they're a cursed franchise. Namath fucking sold his soul to the damn devil to get that Super Bowl. So, I think that, look, if he can stay healthy, they are going to be so fucking good. Mm-hmm. How can they not be?
Yeah.
Their offensive, they went and got Tyron Smith. I know he's been hurt, but he's a hell of a fucking player, and he's motivated on a one-year deal. I like the rest of their offensive line. I hope they bring back Connor McGovern. He's been there in a mainstay form at center. He's part of the Dungeon family, great player. I think he can really step in and solidify that center position for them, even though they're moving some guys around. He's healthy. He's hungry. I think that they bring him back on a one-year deal because he does have good rapport with Rodgers. I think Devontae Adams is out there, and I think it's going to happen. I think that they will trade for Devontae Adams. Really? And don't be surprised either. Bakhtiari has not signed yet, correct?
I don't believe so.
Look that up for me, please.
Off the top of my head,
I'm pretty sure my man Bakhtiari, who's a great buff, hasn't signed. And when he gets 100% healthy, I don't see him not being the right tackle for the Jets also. So you could have Tyron Smith and Bakhtiari being your tackles again. And, this is a 1 year fucking put every single thing into this that you can. Mm-hmm. They need to just go pay Hassan Reddick and bite the bullet and shut up. Yeah. I don't care if you just say, okay, we're giving you a 2-year extension and we're going to give you like $60 million guaranteed for 2 years. Mm-hmm. That's $30 million a year. Please give us your best. Fuck, we're rolling. We're rolling. So, this team is primed for a huge season. They're nasty on defense. I like Robert Saleh as a coach, but I'm telling you, if it goes south or they underachieve or something bad happens, I was there when we traded for Favre, okay? Mm-hmm. Like one day, and this is a crazy season. So this was 2000 and I want to say this is 2008.
Yeah.
If I believe correctly. All right. So we're in camp. Everyone's doing their thing. All of a sudden they trade Chad Pennington to Miami. All right. And the Jets trade for Brett Favre. All right. Now, at the time, everybody's pretty shocked, right? And he came in and fucking lit it up. He did a really good job at the beginning of the season. He's hit the skids at the end. Boy, Brett Favre really turned out to be quite a douchebag, too, with the news coming out about him today and stealing more money from the welfare office in Mississippi. Dude. Woo, boy. But when he came in, the expectations went through the roof. And if you remember correctly that year, we were pretty good for a while. Mm-hmm. I actually ended up playing with the Jets to open the season in Miami and beating the Dolphins with Brett Favre. But then I got cut. And I went to Miami that year. That's when we started running the Wildcat. Mm-hmm. So, I was on the first team that put the Wildcat in. Yeah. So I was playing on that team with Ricky Williams and Ronnie Brown and Patrick Cobb and Pennington and all those guys. So the Wildcat was fucking fun. That was a great offense to play in. Mm-hmm. It was a gimmick and people figured it out quick, but it sure was fun while they were trying to figure it out. So I ended up playing for the Jets, obviously, getting cut and after beating Miami. And then at the end of the season, we go to East Rutherford with the Dolphins, and I end up beating the Jets with the Dolphins at the end of the year. So I was 2-0 that year. Everybody else was 1-1. My man Chad Pennington and I both, ended up – we started with the Jets, ended with the Dolphins. So pretty fucking crazy how all of it works. But, I'm a huge Jet fan and an alum, and I love them, and I think that they're going to be – a real fucking problem, especially if they figure out a way to get home field. Oh, and I don't really think home field matters to Mahomes, but it matters to everybody fucking else.
Yeah, I think the Jets' biggest question is their offensive line, like you mentioned. If they bring in Bakhtiari along with having Tyron Smith there is great. I think they brought in Morgan Moses at the right tackle as well, who's strong.
I like Morgan Moses too.
Dude, man, he's a dude. And so, if they bring in Bakhtiari, holy shit, I think the offensive line will be legit. But without Bakhtiari, either way, I think they're definitely pretty damn good.
I am the X factor. No, man, I'm just saying it was kind of cool how football karma works and like how shit works out. That's all I'm saying. But I'm far from the X factor ever. Although if I was an X-Man, what would my fucking name be? What would my X-Man name be?
It's a good question. What would you say? Name yourself.
Nickname. If you give yourself a nickname, your nickname is immediately Cupcake. You can't give yourself a nickname.
Out of all human beings could give yourself a nickname.
No, you can't, Bailey. There's no fucking self-nicknaming, dog. That's not how it works.
Okay.
Juggernaut. He's already taken them. Come on. But I like it. I dig it. The Chicago Backhand Master, the CBM.
You guys in the chat are crazy.
My finishing move, that's how I kill him.
Oh, fuck. Hey, let's move to another quarterback that you're a fan of. Warhammer.
That's a good one. That's good. We actually were swinging them Warhammers today. I dig that shit.
All right.
Yeah, you can't give yourself a fucking nickname. Quit trying to take us off of this, Bailey, all right? You sit there and fucking produce. All right? If people want to talk about nicknames, we can talk about it. What's your nickname? What are your boys calling?
Fuck. Last nickname I can think of for myself, given in junior football by a coach, was Big Nasty, but that was when I was like in 7th grade playing football. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know if I'm still that now, but that's the first one that comes to my mind. If I were ever,
what do you think JB's nickname is?
Oh, fuck. JB's got a lot of nicknames.
How about Schmitty? What do you think Schmitty's nickname is?
Colts Homer. He's a Colts homer.
Homer? Yeah, he sure is.
All
right, fine. Moving forward. Fine.
All right, moving forward to a quarterback you're a big fan of, Justin Fields. You've seen throwing deep passes in Steelers training camp here. We talked about it on JB show earlier, but Russell Wilson had a calf strain. I think it's a minor thing. He's missed 6 games for 12 years. But if Justin Fields does see the field, man, how do you think he'll succeed, and how do you think the Steelers will be regardless of that?
I think the Steelers are a really good team. Their defense, if and when they stay healthy, will be top 5, if not top 3, if not the best in the league. I think their offensive line is going to be extremely improved. Right? They're young, they're hungry, they've gotten better and better and better as they move forward. I think that they will continue that trend. The quarterback position is extremely, how do I say this? It's extremely interesting in the fact that one of the guys just is totally washed, but he doesn't think he is. And like he puts, Russ puts on this persona like he's Teflon and nothing sticks to him and he's fine, but it's not true. You know that all this shit sticks to him. You know it all bothers him. You know that he has a problem with it. He hears everything. He's super sensitive. You can't listen to any music he doesn't like. Like, that at the Broncos facility, you couldn't play Future, listen to Future, nothing, ever. You know that, right?
Yeah.
And you know why, right? Everyone knows why.
Yes.
Obviously. So I wonder, like, when they're sitting there getting ready for dinner, and they're like, mac and cheese is on the table, and Sierra goes, Future Junior dinner. Like, I wonder how Russ feels when that happens. That's all I'm saying. So you got that. That's one of the guys. And I think Justin Fields, the other quarterback there, he's a good fucking football player, bro, but he's not a great quarterback yet. So
yeah,
he's dropping dimes right now, and maybe this whole fiasco in Chicago where they pretty much just replaced the athletes that kick rocks, hopefully it put him in a position where he knows he has to do a little bit more from a quarterbacking perspective rather than just a football playing perspective. So I really, really, really think that Russ is going to be the backup because they're not just going to fucking want the conservative, let's go out here and try not to make mistakes. That's what they have in Rudolph. It's what they had in Kenny Pickett, guys who can't win you a game, but they can damn sure lose you one.
Yeah.
But Justin Fields, I mean, he can definitely lose you football games, but he gives you an X factor there that they haven't had in a long time. Yeah. So are they going to play both of them together? Is he going to be like a Cordell Stewart X factor type in that regard? I don't know, man. I think both of them are on 1-year rentals. So do they extend Justin Fields? Probably not. And then what do you do with Russell Wilson? And let's say Russ has a similar year to stat-wise that he did in Denver. All right? And he had 26 touchdowns and maybe 12 interceptions.
He was 26 and 8 picks, I believe. Yeah.
Okay, 26 and 8. That's pretty good. That's pretty good when you're just looking at numbers.
Yeah, numbers.
But we're not just looking at numbers. Yeah. So I don't know, man. This is a really really interesting situation in Pittsburgh to see where these two fit in and how they're going to fit. I wouldn't be surprised if they need both of them by the end of the year. Both of them probably have started multiple games and helped the team win, or one of them goes down and then you're just stuck with the other guy.
Here's what I will say. From a mental perspective, I feel like Justin Fields got a chip on his shoulder. I feel like he's probably pissed that the way that shit in Chicago fucking ended. He's coming into Pittsburgh on 1-year deal. Same with Russ. But here's the difference. Russ has already been paid. And Russ, I mean, we've seen him struggle after getting paid in Denver. He got signed, then paid, then played. So we've seen him kind of play off of money, and now he's in Pittsburgh doing the same thing. And you know what money does, $180-some million. You ain't going to work as hard as if you didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? And I understand Russell Wilson, and he's religious with the work, like LeBron spending millions on his body. But at the same time, I also look at Fields has that chip on his shoulder, and, he's got nothing to lose. And that's something that, that's scary. You know what I'm saying? Just from that perspective. But, I think they'll ultimately start Russ. If Russ doesn't work out, Fields will come in with a chip on his shoulder, and we'll see how that plays out. That's the way I see it. All right, let's move forward here. Talk about Colorado football. I want to talk about Colorado's culture here. Colorado's running back Dallan Hayden was asked about Coach Prime's culture and what it's like been playing for him. Take a listen and give your thoughts on Prime's culture.
Is it like playing for him, and what's the culture like at Colorado?
The culture's good, So I know the media have their own saying of how the culture is, how Coach Prime is, but I know what's real and I know it's not. Everything I've been through so far there, it's been nothing but good. He's a winner. That's all he wants to do is win. He doesn't want to be involved in all the media and all that. So he's really he's a cool guy. You gotta be about your business with him, and everything is really fine, which isn't no issue for me. Always there for the players, always at workouts, watching and stuff like that. But he's a good guy.
Matt, your thoughts on this and Coach Prime's culture as a whole?
I mean, look, I'm not in the building, but I am pretty aware and pretty, locked into the players, the coaches, the scheme, how they do things. I played with a lot of the coaches or against them. So I look, this is a new bat coming in who is a hell of a player, who's going to get a ton of touches and a ton of run. He's enjoyed his time up to this point. Winning will help him really enjoy his time moving forward. Now, that's the key here. Of course, all of this, he's going to have great culture. And he's a great coach. And he's a great developer of talent and all of these different things. If. It's all if right now, dog. And it is right around the fucking corner. If they do things correctly and win the fucking football games they're supposed to, which is the majority of them, in my opinion, when they have this kind of talent. the culture and the community are two things that you're going to see take off at the same level that the football program does, because this will be a pop culture phenomenon like very few things we've ever seen. Oh, yeah. It already is, and they're not even winning yet.
Yeah, wait till they win.
It's just the hope. There's so many people that are hoping for it to fail because they're just born fucking haters and they can't get out of their own way. And then there's a ton of other people that are immersed in it that have been CU fans forever or alum and just are riding the wave here like this is fucking incredible. You know, good, bad, or indifferent. At least we're put in a really good situation, right? Mm-hmm. And then there's people who understand that if they do what they're supposed to do, not only are you getting a winning program, and that's fantastic, but you're also going to get they are going to be at the front line. Like they're going to be the fucking Lakers of college football, dog. Yeah. Every front runner in the world is going to be a Buffalo fan. Mm-hmm. Everyone. And that's cool. We got room. Let's go. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I think that there's the opportunity to get the message out and show everybody what we're about and ride the wave that Coach Prime is. He's like a damn 10.0 earthquake in the middle of the fucking ocean that just sets this massive wave off. Ride that mother. Mm-hmm. That's what Coach Prime has provided. We need to ride it. So this season is so unbelievably monumentally important. I don't think there's ever been a more important college football season in Boulder than this one coming up.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. And people in the chat are mentioning that Coach Prime doesn't like the word culture. There's a lot of people in social media and this, people.
What word can I use?
Yeah, exactly. What word are you going to use?
What word can I use then? Tell me what word I can.
I wanted to ask you is there's
community?
A lot of people. Yeah, there's a lot of people asking about Georgia's football culture. Another player was arrested today for another off-the-field incident. And so we kind of seen this since the beginning of January of last year. You know, a lot of Georgia players having off-the-field incidents. Yeah. But you also see a lot of hate coming at Colorado's culture, and I don't think you're seeing that those off-the-field issues at the level that Georgia is. So can you kind of speak to that, Coach, for Colorado's culture and Dion?
Well, okay, college kids with money and nice cars and get in trouble and shit. I mean, they're not – it doesn't seem to me at least that they're shooting at each other or rob, steal, kill, rape, like none of the big words, right? Mm-hmm. These are traffic violations and fights and bullshit. I don't know what yesterday's was. I didn't even know it happened until you told me, but I'm not condoning it. I'm not sitting here saying that like Mike Gundy and what he did at Oklahoma State, saying he's not going to suspend his running back just because. Why would he? Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it's right. I'm also not saying it's wrong. Mm-hmm. People fucking make mistakes. Do you want the kid to learn or lose? Are you trying to develop a little bit of character here and thick skin because the kid fucked up, or is he a fuck up? Those are two different things. Mm-hmm. I got a ton of trouble in college with, thank God there's no social media because I never would have gotten out of Colorado. They wouldn't never let me back in. But the fact that I was able to learn from my mistakes is what allowed me to grow as a man and overcome all of that and be a captain in all Big 12 and help a team win and go to the Big 12 title game and like finish correctly rather than just being like, oh, well, he fucked up and he's a loser. We can't have him around. That's not the way it's supposed to work. So I personally am about chances and opportunities to improve, not just chances and opportunities to watch someone else play while you're sitting there wondering what the fuck you did. So, again, if it's repetitive and you're consistently making mistakes and you can't keep your, mind and eyes and everything pointed in the right direction, then okay, that's something we got to talk about. But if you've made one or two mistakes individually, I'm not talking about the whole sum of the football team at Georgia, but it's not like the one guy got arrested 40 times. He's just one of the guys that got fucked with and got arrested. So Are you making a mistake and then learning from it and not making the same mistake again? Or are you just a mental cripple and you can't figure it out and you're going to put yourself in a bad position consistently because, you're stuck in the spin cycle, homie. So you got to, at some point as an athlete and as a man, you got to just pick one.
Yeah, no doubt. And last thing I'll say on this, Sean King said it, don't let headlines kind of fool you. You kind of have to know the whole situation. Don't get blinded by headlines either. There's a lot of shit, especially as college athletes, high-level college D1 football. They're going to jump to the headlines and say some shit, whether it's true or not. That's all. We'll leave it at that. Let's move on here to an interesting topic here. We've kind of
Come on, TikTok, get these numbers up, man. I need more likes. I need more love. Let's go, baby. Let's go. It's Friday.
Yeah. Same with YouTube. Become a member. Become a member of the Dungeon family. Hit the like.
Subscribe. Let's go.
This is only the beginning. The channel is going to keep growing, so stay tuned. Let's discuss a very interesting person, Paul Feinbaum, who has called out yet another college football coach. But out of all coaches you could call out, he calls out Matt Rule. Take a listen. You can kind of discuss.
Four teams from this league should get in every year because this is the best league. This is the NFL of college football in my mind. It stretches from coast to coast, different time zones, different weather. That's not to diminish any other league. The SEC is amazing. These other leagues are great, but the challenge in the Big Ten is going to be really difficult.
So he says the Big Ten should just automatically get 4 teams in the playoff. Paul, what do you think of that?
Matt, stay in your lane, okay? Job one, win enough games to get to some stupid bowl game. Don't worry about the big boys because you're not one of them. We saw what you did in the NFL. You were a complete disaster in Carolina. Somehow got this job in Nebraska, and you're talking like you belong at the table with Ohio State and Georgia. You don't.
Matt, your thoughts?
What is with this fucking guy? Like, did he forget to take his medicine or something? What? Why? What's the? Because Matt Rule thinks that a great conference could have 4 teams. Of course, they could potentially have 4 teams in. Let's say Ohio State's undefeated and wins it. Michigan's only loss is Ohio State. Penn State doesn't. Penn State's or say all 3 of them round robin. And Penn State beats Ohio State beats Michigan, and Michigan beats Penn State. And they all only have 1 loss. And then Nebraska or Iowa is undefeated and then wins the Big Ten. All 4 of those teams could absolutely get in. So, or SC or Washington or Oregon. Come on,
Gifford.
All right, we got a new YouTube member. We appreciate you. Throw them up and give them a shout out. Mike Bundy, we appreciate the $9.99. Nick needs shoes. You are providing shoe money. I appreciate you, Mike. That's awesome. If you were sitting next to me in the huddle, I'd slap you on the ass and say, "Good game, homie." So, like, this doesn't seem very constructive for Feinbaum. Mm-hmm. This guy seems like a real dick. Now he's going after Matt Rule, huh? Why? Why does Matt Rule need to stay in his lane? You know what expectations are, Bailey? You know this, right? Mm-hmm. Well, there's this expectation in Lincoln, which is not crazy. It's the way that I would wish everybody operated in Boulder, honestly, that we're here to win national titles. Mm-hmm. So they've been doing that in Lincoln for a long time. So when you walk into that building and you're surrounded by it, what do you want him to go temper his fucking expectation when he goes to media day? Because of your bitch ass, Feinbaum? Come on. I mean, this is just another circumstance where Paul Feinbaum is putting his foot in his mouth and making this entire situation way more of a blow up than it needs to be. If you have an opinion about Nebraska and Matt Rule, that's fine. It's your job to give it. But to attack him, like, you're not at the table, you'll never be at the table, it's for the big boys, and you're not one, and you'll never be one, blah, blah. Like, dude, damn, Paul, you're just throwing fucking just pew, 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 pew. I mean, this guy's a real bitch-made punk son bitch, dude. I do not like his fucking Angelo.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, right, little $1.99. I love it, man. Appreciate it.
Feinbaum's called out like 7 coaches in 4 days or so. Like, I don't know. The number is obviously a little exaggerated, but he's called out a lot of coaches, and calling out rules kind of. I think it's gonna bite. He's gonna eat those.
It doesn't make sense. What did Matt do? Like,
rules,
no one's calling out Paul. No one's like at media day like that. Fucking Paul Feinbaum is not a big time, and he shouldn't be covering the press conferences. And he's just, who the fuck is he? What paper does he work for? He's just some guy. No, he's like watching guys give interviews and just trying to poke holes in that shit. I'm surprised. Why didn't he go after Deshaun Foster when he froze? Why not go after Deshaun, right, Paul? You're just fucking going after everybody. Might as well go after him too, right?
I know it's coming. And like, this is the thing. He just seems to be doing this for attention. Coming out Matt Rule makes no sense to me. Matt Rule is like has proven history of turning around programs. He brought Temple to a bowl game with that Deion Dawkins team. Brought Baylor to 11-1 in 2019. Clearly, when he went to the Panthers, he's not an NFL coach. He's a college coach. So he goes back to Nebraska. Last year, he's in the process of turning that program around. Now, I think Nebraska will be very formidable, to say the least. So for him to come out, Rule out of all coaches, I don't hear him saying shit about Ryan Day. I don't hear him saying shit about anybody in the SEC. So I don't understand more. Yeah, nothing. I don't understand. I don't get it.
Well, look, let him keep talking. You know, it's what it is. It's what Paul does. Eventually, you know, Lane Kiffin smacked his ass around verbally.
Oh, yeah.
Eventually, people are going to get real tired of this, and they're going to start going back at him. I mean, I dislike this son bitch wholeheartedly. I have no problem going clapping at him, but he ain't going to listen to me. Or maybe he will. I mean, shit, Paul, come on the show and let's have a debate about why, first of all, why you think your opinion matters.
Yeah. And I think it's a little bit bigger because people are going to call out, oh, you're just going at him because he didn't play. Listen to him talk. And listen
that's not the only reason I'm going at him. Yeah. That's not true. Mm-hmm. I respect the shit out of a bunch of people that didn't play. Your opinion, as long as you understand what you're talking about and you can articulate it and we can have a conversation and you don't just sound like a 5th grader that read the fucking, you know, the Madden, the back of the Madden game and like a couple football cards, then yeah, let's talk. Let's figure this out. But if it's just going to turn into some bullshit, then of course I'm going to criticize it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. I hear you. All right, let's move forward off of freaking Feinbaum. Let's talk about Coach Prime. We're going to talk about Coach Prime's impact on Colorado football. Rick George, Colorado's AD, was asked about Coach Prime, his expectations going into the season as well. Take a listen and give your take.
Where this football program's going, and Coach Prime is the guy that's leading the charge, and I like what he's doing. I like the offseason and how they've come together, and you know, we report on Sunday, and it's going to be exciting to see how we flourish. We're just tune out the noise and we're focusing on what we're doing. And, you know, I think you'll see a team that's really, really solid football team this fall. I think there's a misperception about Coach. I mean, if you know Coach Prime, he's an incredible individual. He's driven. He knows what it takes to be successful. He's hired a great staff. And look, you know, we're not going to make everybody happy, you know, and that's not our goal. Our goal is to focus on what we have in front of us, tune out all that noise that's out there, and make this program really great. And I think Coach Prime's going to do that. I think this is going to be a big step in that direction this year. And, you know, let the naysayers say what they want to say. We're not listening to it. We're just focused on what's ahead.
Matt, talk about Coach Prime's impact on Colorado.
Great interview. Look, Rick George is that guy. I love Ricky George. He's the man. You know, Rick, I remember when Coach Prime was about to get hired, and there were some other guys that were on the fucking, you know, the short list, to say the least. Mm-hmm. And I remember being on a conference call with Joe Klatt and Bloom and Andre Girard and a couple of other just legends. And I didn't say a whole lot. I was more listening than anything. My only chime in was, let's make sure that we're going for greatness and not comfort. And they took that wholeheartedly, and it was reiterated by Klatt and a couple other guys, and it was, let's make sure we're going after greatness right now, and we're not just going after comfort in order to, you know, make the fan base comfortable or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So that is something that they did, And this is what he brings to the table every day, greatness.
Mm.
That's what he is. He's great. And he's turned that place, that we always used to say it's RTD, return to dominance. That's what we wanted to do when I was there. Get back to the 1990 national title feeling, right? And we were a fucking, a one game away from playing for a national title when I was there in 01.
Mm.
So I'm not saying it worked, but damn sure it's not like it didn't. So the opportunity to take something that Coach Prime knows he is, which is great, and sprinkle it all over the program and turn it into, like dinner table conversation, dog. Like, that's how great he is.
Mm-hmm.
That's how great he's making this. So, bro, it's something new every day from a perspective of trying to figure out how they're going to do things. But true greatness is hard to find in this world. Mm-hmm. And watching it, it's incredible. So I think that, it's a long story to get a short answer, but he brings to the University of Colorado his own personal greatness, which, is pretty hard to find out there just around the corner.
No doubt. You mentioned his personal greatness. Talk about kind of his character and his personality. I think people with great personalities, that rubs off on other people. Him being a coach, that's great for his kids. You've been around him. You interviewed him. You've been around him a lot in the building. So can you kind of talk about his character and how that may impact the kids that he's coaching?
Look, I think that the way he does things is so unique because he's not just a coach. He can really get on the guy's level. His kids are on the team, so that makes it also incredibly easy to get along with everybody and to find something that's relative and something that they can, we can build, a bridge between the two parties based on that information. So it really is an equal opportunity to go out and really build. Look, Coach Prime is so unique in the way he does things because he breaks molds. He doesn't play this is how we do recruiting, and that's the way it's done, and there are no changes. We aren't changing anything. Everybody just do it the way we've been doing it. He came in and said, fuck all that. We're scrapping everything, and we're going to do it the way it's supposed to be done, which is each individual kid and each individual relationship is worked on individually. We can't just try and make every single recruit and every single parent and all these different people fit into our system and the way we do things. Right. We need to mold around the way they do things to make it to make it comfortable for them, to show them we can develop, to show if something changes. This book right here, I always keep it close. The Don Shula Little Book of Coaching right there. My pops bought this for me. God, so long ago, man. And let's see if it opens up to my favorite quote. So it usually does. All right. Right there. Make sure everyone knows what the target is, right? Like, that's a big one. We got to make sure everybody's there. All right. Practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. Just little things like that. So this is what Coach Prime brings to the table, is a different perspective, followed by a different way to do things and a different way to set the standard, which in turn elevates it. Like, there's this misconception out there that the standard, I always hear the standard is a standard. So you can only get to 100. Well, that's bullshit. There's bigger numbers than that. So we can just set our standard higher, and then all of a sudden our standard is higher. Mm-hmm. So I'm very interested to see just how, when all of this pops off, and he is, last year they were pretty happy sitting there at 4-2 after beating Arizona State and like, hey, we might have a real chance to go bowling and blah, 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 blah. And then they hit the skids and they lost 5 of their 8 at the end of the year were by 1 score. Okay. But they did lose 6 of 8 by 1 score. It was just split up a little bit differently. So there's a lot of adversity, but a lot of opportunity based on that adversity.
Yeah, man, no doubt. I totally agree with you, man. Hey, great Friday show. Wanted to give a quick message to the chat. Go ahead and become a member. We already got more members in the chat today. I appreciate all of the donations and the love, supporting the show. Go ahead and keep supporting us as we keep growing here. Matt, any final thoughts?
Yeah, enjoy your weekend. Have yourself a good one. We'll be back on Coach JB's show Monday morning early. I'll be on at 7:30 a.m. Mountain, rolling, and then practice. We got practice at Mount Vista all week next week. We'll be on at 4 p.m. live Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. I don't know about Friday yet, but definitely those 3 days. There's a possibility that we're going to have some pretty kick-ass guests moving forward here. I'll keep you abreast to all of that moving forward there. Man, we appreciate everybody in the super chats and the YouTube donations and everything there, the subs. That kicks ass. Keep it up. Go on YouTube, go on Twitch, go on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, everywhere. Like, subscribe, get involved. We want you involved. That's why you're part of the Dungeon family for $2.99, right, Bailey?
No doubt, man. Best $2.99 you ever spent in your life, man.
All right, so everybody, make sure that take care of yourself this weekend. Don't do nothing stupid. You can only stick your dick in a blender once. Remember that. And hey, everyone, enjoy yourself. And like always, go Buffs.
Go Buffs. Peace.
Peace.